Hello everyone, I'm Maratra Kabhaumik and I welcome you all to another episode of Courts Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place across the country today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court of India and then move on to High Courts and other subordinate courts. If you like our content, then it would mean a lot to us if you could please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's begin. The central government today took exception to the protest march conducted by Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal yesterday against Delhi Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena during the pendency of case before the Supreme Court in relation to the dispute between the Delhi government and the Lieutenant Governor. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing on behalf of the central government today, told the Supreme Court that such protests and theatrics cannot be a substitute for legal arguments. Amidst confusion created by reports that the centre has written to the CJI asking for its representatives to be placed in the collegium for selecting judges, Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju has made a clarification. The minister denied that the centre has sought for its representatives to be included in the collegium of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. The Supreme Court of India today sought the stand of the centre and the National Medical Commission on a plea against a circular retrospectively requiring foreign medical graduates without clinical training to undergo a compulsory rotatory medical internship for 2 years instead of 1. A division bench comprising Justices B.R. Gawai and Vikram Nath directed this matter to be heard along with a batch of petitions filed by foreign graduates from China, Ukraine, Philippines who were unable to complete clinical training because of the intervening circumstances such as the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian-Ukraine war. The Supreme Court of India, while adjourning the batch of petitions challenging the nation-wide identification of minorities to 21st March, ordered today that the remaining states and union territories who have not responded to the centre's letter seeking comments on the issue of identification and notification of religious and linguistic minorities, if they do not respond before the next hearing, then the court would presume that they have nothing to say in this particular matter. The Attorney General for India, Senior Advocate R. Venkataramani, while appearing for centre in a batch of petitions seeking district-wise identification of minorities before the Supreme Court of India today, informed the bench of Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Abhay S. Oka and J.B. Pardiwala that he was a part of the committee headed by Professor N.R. Madhava Menon for the Equal Opportunities Commission as an expert member. It is important to point out that the N.R. Madhava Menon committee was constituted to examine and determine the structure and functions of an Equal Opportunity Commission set up by the Ministry of Minority Affairs, Government of India in February 2008. The Supreme Court today listed the plea filed by journalist Rana Ayyub challenging the summons issued to her by the Ghaziabad court on 23rd January. The matter was mentioned before a bench comprising Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice P.S. Narasimha by Senior Advocate Brinda Grover for an early listing. The summons was issued in relation to a PMLA case. In October last year, the ED had filed a complaint against her before the Ghaziabad court over alleged violations in publicly raising funds for COVID-19 relief. We don't believe in unnecessarily putting people behind bars. Bail matters should not go on and should not be dealt with in this manner. The Supreme Court today orally remarked while hearing applications filed in relation to the bail granted in the Delhi riots larger conspiracy case. The appeals filed by the Delhi police against the Delhi High Court order granting bail to student activists Devangana Kalita, Natasha Narwal and Asif Iqbal Tanha were listed before a bench comprising Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Abhay S. Oka and J.B. Pardiwala. The bike taxi aggregator Rapido has approached the Supreme Court of India against the Bombay High Court order, which had directed it to shut down all its services in the state of Maharashtra as it was functioning without any license. The matter was mentioned before a bench comprising Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice P.S. Narasimha by Senior Advocate Mukul Rohatgi. The bench has now listed the matter to be heard on 23rd January. The Supreme Court held that a son or daughter adopted by the widow of a deceased government servant after the death of the government servant cannot be included within the definition of family under Rule 54, Clause 14, Subclause B of the Central Civil Services Pension Rules of 1972 to claim family pension. The definition of the term family cannot be extended to include those persons who were not even dependents of the government servant at the time of his death, the bench of Justices K.M. Joseph and B.V. Nagaratna observed. The Delhi High Court today asked Bollywood filmmaker Hansal Mehta and two women who lost their daughters in the 2016 terrorist attack in a Dhaka cafe to sit together and try to resolve the issue pertaining to the film Faraaz. A division bench of Justice Siddharth Mridul and Justice Talwan Singh was hearing an application moved by the women seeking stay on the release of the movie, claiming right to privacy qua their deceased daughters. The film is based on the Dhaka attack and is scheduled to be released on February 3rd. The Allahabad High Court today upheld the Supreme Court's order rejecting Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's discharge plea filed in connection with a 2014 case registered against him, allegedly saying those who believe in Khuda won't be pardoned by Khuda if they vote for BJP. The bench of Justice Rajesh Singh Chauhan said that it appeared that Kejriwal is threatening the voters in the name of Khuda, knowing fully well that if he uses the term Khuda, some set of voters belonging to different religions might be severely influenced. The bench also added that prima facie it was not decent for a person who is the chief minister of a state to utter any sentence or word which has any hidden meaning. The Calcutta High Court today directed advocates to refrain from carrying out agitations within the court premises on issues concerning the contempt case initiated by Justice Rajashekhar Mantha against protesting lawyers who had created a ruckus outside his courtroom. The court has also ordered the Registrar General to give due publicity to this order by intimating the same to the High Court Bar Association, the Bar Library Club and the Incorporated Law Society, apart from displaying such notice on the court's website. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today on LiveLaw for more such updates. See you tomorrow.